And let's start the conversation off really quick with your stage reading that's coming up. Tell me when.
Quickly. Yes. Okay. I'm part of a community called FilmNet in San Diego. They have a monthly meeting in Kearny Mesa, that's central San Diego. And I have the honor, September 8th, Tuesday, September 8th, to put up several scenes from my screenplay, ABCD, about the invention of the brassiere. And I have several scenes that I'm casting for. So for local San Diego actors, I'll just quickly tell you what I'm looking for. One young guy. I have, I think, two women, and then two, one or two younger women, and then three, I think, three older women that are the ladies' morality guilds that don't like the. So I'm going to present the conflict and some romance. That's why I have the guy there. That's
Awesome.
it's a women's story, but it's fun for guys because of the topic and the romance. And so I haven't even put anything out there yet. I'm just looking for some local actors who would be open, willing, available, and that could send me their reel. And then probably in a couple of weeks, I'm going to have a not really an audition, but like a reading and casting Zoom
Okay.
session.
Are you
Local people.
you're gonna do it all on Zoom and it's all local
Yeah, but the
personalities?
experience, I mean, the actual reading is live in person in Kearny Mesa at FilmNet.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I will put a blast out there whenever that's ready. Let me know.
Yeah.
That's
In the
exciting.
meantime, someone could email me their reel.
Okay,
Laurie,
perfect.
I'll give you my email quickly. Laurie, Laurie, at JazzyMay, JAZZYMAE.com. Hope that was clear. Or you could DM me on Substack if you want.
Let me see if I can. Well, I don't know if it's going to come up in the chat. If I could type it into the chat, but what we'll do is we'll do a post. We'll post this, and then we'll make sure all that information is linked to it when we.
I'm scared to publicly put my email, but that's okay.
How cool is it though that you're gonna have? Okay, so one of the things I love is to watch a writer who, not that you're a first time writer at all, but watch a writer listen to their words spoken by a character for the first time.
It is really fun.
Yeah. What comes up for you when you do that? When you experience that?
I've been part of an acting class that used to be in person, now on Zoom as a guest writer director. Sometimes I also teach a writing workshop briefly within the class. So I've been lucky enough to have this experience a lot. People reading my scenes, and it's just so nice when they appreciate it. When they, I mean, I get such nice comments. I actually see myself as an actor's writer. I feel like actors get my writing better than anybody else. So working with them directly is the joy, and having them get it, what I'm
Yeah.
wanting to do. And sometimes they'll ad lib something that I hadn't thought of, and I'll change the script to what they did because it makes sense. They just did something that made sense out of their intuition, and I'll change the script to adjust to that. And
I think it
but
man,
it's so much fun.
and it's so important because I don't know, I love collaboration. And, I've worked with writers and directors, and when I'm working on a character, I always go in first. I talk to the director, what's your vision? I talk to the writer, how do you see the character? Who do you think this character is? Why did you choose me to play it? That's, I think, a very important part for an actor, to understand why the director chose who they did and why the writer chose who they did to bring this character to life, because there's elements of us that are glimpses inside, or have access to who their character is already. They've been able to type in through an audition, or tap in through an audition, etc. So I think uh, that's a great part of the creative collaboration, is when a writer is not held, like they're not stuck on those words. Now, if a play has been done over and over and over again, and it's gone through workshops and it's gone through experiences, and specifically if it's a play or television, then sticking to those words, actors always stick to the words, no matter what. But if you're in an exercise and an experience where you're improving and you're in rehearsal and something comes up and the writer's in agreement, then go for it. Having a writer there is actually a huge benefit. But if it's a Sam Shepard play or a Tennessee Williams play or August Wilson play, you know, stick with the words, make them work. That's exciting. That's super
Yeah.
exciting.
I want to say something responding to some things you just said. Number one, talking to producer, director, and all that about how why to cast you, I think would be very interesting for an actor to be able to see themselves from outside more and to get more self awareness. I think that would be valuable for an actor. Um, when I've done these scenes in the acting class, I work with whoever's there and they're just reading it on their computer. Last time I had all these feminine scenes and it was mostly guys and they had to read the women and that was fun. Sometimes they're reading something wrong and I redirect explaining the subtle difference between what's written and what you said and why, and then they're like, oh, I get it, and then that's fun too.
Yeah, that
Sometimes
collaboration.
revising, I mean, it can go in any direction.
Yeah, and it's always my intention, you know, as a director, I'm always looking to um I'm looking to connect with the actor and bring from them what is their experience. What is, especially if it's a role that I'm so far from. Like, I directed a project where there was this uh, the character was a lesbian, black, heavy set, singing, amazing human uh, that loved her church from South LA and as far from me as you could possibly get. And so I wanted to understand her deeper than I could possibly ask the magic what if. What if it would happen to me? What if this was my experience? And when you communicate like that and you're open and you just open yourself up to that experience of their experience, the actor is going to bring that to the table and give you insight. Um, so that's exciting. So whenever we post this, we'll make sure that information's out there. I'm excited. I mean, my goal is to get out there as soon as possible. So if I can get a flight into in September and come see it and create
Oh
something
my
then,
god,
I'm
I will.
down.
I
I
will.
know. We get to see each other in person.
So exciting. You know, one of my other contributors to Now Act, how we met is through this book compilation, essay compilation of actors, casting directors, coaches, all on the craft and the business of acting. That's how we met. And you have contributions in the first and second volume. I have another guy who I interviewed who has a couple of contributions who is in this show. He's in a show right now, Einstein the Musical. I went up to LA yesterday to see it, and it was just so gratifying getting to know him that way. And then we've also Zoomed, gotten to know each other better. And then seeing this show that he's been posting and promoting, now getting to see it live, which is just amazing.
And seeing him go and have that experience. I mean,
It's
that's
awesome.
awesome. I just put the title of the book in the chat, and and the link is everywhere. So it's called Now Act. You guys can get it on Laurie's website.
I could put the link right here
Okay,
if that's the
perfect.
website.
Um, all right.
Oh, I did it wrong.
Let's see. We have um we have we are going to be doing these every Friday, every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Time. And the purpose is to kind of bring attention to what Laurie and I are working on and to support people. And it's a very casual. We're not coming in with a lot of this is what you got to do and this is what you have to do. It's just a very casual conversation, as if Laurie and I were either having a glass of wine or coffee and just shooting the shite. Um, but yeah, I've got a big birthday coming up, and this is going to be leading into the through line and having a conversation about through line strategy and what it means, and how in a script, and that for a character, there's a character has a through line, and a script has a through line, and for us as human beings, we have through line. And so then that through line is always there. You set that intention, I believe. My friend Edwina, who's on Substack as well. She's a powerhouse. She's awesome. She's from Australia. She lives in Australia. She sent me my numerology report, and I went through all of that, which is exciting. And it indicates that we all have a through line. And so the idea is that, and some believe that you're you are carnated or incarnated into this life, and you make a choice going into it. The things you learn, the evolution you go through, the lessons, which kind of takes a little bit of load off when you do something that you messed up on, right? Or you fail or whatever. It's all part of that journey, all part of that learning experience
Mm-hmm.
journey. Then sometimes we get thrown off, and I'm speaking from a very recent personal experience where, you know, that your through line is like, I'm headed to someplace. I've always wanted a house on land, and a stage, and gardens and events and people and stage readings in my house and screenings, and like, I've always wanted that. And we had a little bit of that, a micro version of that in Los Angeles, and then we moved to Wisconsin, and I thought that that's where we were going to create that. But you live and learn, and
Mm-hmm.
that the through line is still there. It's the choices the character's making along the way that, if you're writing your script, I've always said this: what is the one person that can prevent you from getting what you want, or a character from getting what they want in a script? What's the only person that can prevent a character from getting what they want in a script?
Themselves.
The writer.
Oh, the writer can
Yeah,
stop them. Yes,
right?
because really, you know what? You brought up it. You bring ideas to my mind. I'm just going to quickly say I love what you're saying about through line, how it relates to an actor, a character, a story, and a human going through their life. But it's like what's happening in a screenplay or a play or a dramatic narrative story. A character is going to, they have something that's important to them that they want to accomplish generally, and they're up against something. And a lot of times it really is something internal, but the writer externalizes it as an institution, a person running the institution, a wicked witch. Everything that's like the antagonist or the villain outside of the character is in a way projections of things in the inside that the writer is in a fun and dramatic and exciting way making it cinematic. Basically they're externalizing it.
Exactly. And so that is 100% true. And if we parallel that to what I'm saying, is that all of our given circumstances are can often be that antagonistic thing that is it's a projection of ourselves. It's a projection of what we've put out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, today we're going to put down our lovely 19-year-old kitty, and it's hard, and it's rough, and I'm trying to be strong for my husband, and I'm trying to build a career and make things happen, and we have all of these stresses, and it feels like right now it's a constant shifting how I relate to everything. So if I'm building the character that I want to be, so going back to writing the script that I want for me, I'm the writer, I'm the star of the script, right? Then I'm choosing based on my life experiences, my backstory, and then I'm utilizing that information to shift. If I've created these circumstances, and how I relate to them is how I get out of it, or how I move through it, then that's the choices I get to make. Now, in a script, the writer's doing that for you. The
Right.
writer's doing that. So So it's like I always I when I'm teaching actors and they're in a scene and it's a highly conflicting scene, and the last line of the scene is "I hate you," right? Let's say the last line of the scene is "I hate you, get out." I go, I want you to want to say, "I love you so much. You're incredible. You're the love of my life." I want you to want to say that, but you have to say, because the writer, and you can get mad at the writer all day long, but
Mhm.
you get mad at the writer, and I want you to have the want to say, "I love you," and I want you to say, "I hate you," and get out. Like the internal conflict that you experience, the inability to say the words. How hard is it to say, "I hate you, get out," when "I love you" is what you feel?
That Oh my god, that is so interesting. I love how you said that. It gives me so much to think about, and I would think it would give actors a lot to think about. And it's reminding me of. Are you familiar with the Michael Shirtliff book, Audition?
Yeah, I think I've
He
got it. Yeah.
he talks a lot about. I mean, I think it's helpful for anyone because it's about everything underlying everything. If you, he's like, especially in audition, let it be love. No matter how conflicting, just like you said, no matter how
Mm.
much the character is saying, I hate you, it's love. If love is the underlying reason, I'm so mad at you because I love you and I want you to do what I want or whatever it is. But if love is there, it makes it more of a potent audition. Instead, it's because it's like the character and I guess the actor is going to be more committed to the situation when they're feeling love.
And the question is, yeah, can you have hate without love? Can you have love without,
So,
like, you can have love without hate, I think, but can you have hate without, to hate something requires you to have to have value in something else.
right, and strong feelings about it. Like they say, the opposite of love isn't hate; it's indifference.
Ugh, 100%. Yeah,
So for an actor, that's important to understand that, I guess.
yeah. And, for me being a Leo, and for me being a person who, you know, has all the makeups of a passionate, understanding, compassionate, empathetic strategist, and I see everything, and and there have been times where I just like, you know, there's I take in all the inventory and then have the dialogue, I have the conversation, I have the the I put out what I'm very communicative. And then at some point, it's like, all right, I'm done. Right? It's a business relationship or a job or whatever. It's like I've laid it all out. I've laid it all out there. And sometimes it's even with myself. I mean, the last couple of years has been with myself for sure. Like, all right. So finally, this past like couple of weeks, I'm like, all right, I'm done, Brionne. I'm done. We're changing the script. We're changing the script. Um,
It's interesting how so many parallels, like writer scripting a dramatic narrative story, whether it's a comedy, a sci-fi, whatever. They're scripting something and it's their imagination, but then it's really the same way we go through life. Our imagination is impacting what we experience and how we choose to interpret things and feel about them and get the positive lesson or and grow or shrink, take a negative lesson and shrink.
yeah.
I mean, that's why I think storytelling, it's such a sacred art because it is how we can learn and grow about certain things that a character does by going through it with them and not having to live it in your life. It's just an interesting conversation. I don't know.
Well, no, that's 100% accurate. Tennessee Williams says, I couldn't possess my own life until I'd written about it. He actually said, I couldn't possess my own life until I'd written about it. And that landed for me so uh, directly. And I was like, wow, I couldn't possess my own feelings until I'd acted them. It's like I was so curious about feeling everything. I was like, why? Why do I feel everything so much? I feel everything. And so in order for me to have a grasp, and I wanted to feel them, right? I wanted to dive deep and to understand all the nuance and places of feeling something in a safe environment. And what better way to do that than through character? And how do we experience a character's life without compassion? So the character is walking down this, we've read the entire script. We know what their through line is. We know what they want by the end of it, and then we go backwards. At the end of every scene, they have an objective, a desire. And guys, meaning everybody, guys, gals, actors, entertainers, simplify your need. Get back to me on this if it doesn't work. The Maslow's pyramid, the hierarchy of needs.
Mm-hmm.
It's as simple as that. I need to gain or maintain food, water, shelter, the physiological needs. I need to gain or maintain love, sense of belonging, community, safety. I need to gain or maintain, um, uh, a sense of self preservation or esteem and prestige. Like it goes up the pyramid. And then finally, the self actualization lives at the top. But you can acquire self actualization at any one of those levels. You can acquire all of them and get knocked back down to the physiological needs. And at the end of that, you will be able to, you can attain self actualization at any one of those moments. A great example of that is Castaway, the movie Castaway with Tom Hanks, which is great. So those needs, I need love. I need a sense of belonging. I need money. I need safety and security. I need, family. Whatever that is, I need that. A need is not an action. The actions are the things that you get to attain that need or maintain that need. An
Exactly.
action is I manipulate you, or I seduce you, or I, whatever. We overcomplicate our needs. And like our own personal script, we overcomplicate our needs in our life. you know, I need food, water, shelter. I need that property, and I need to host events, and I need to create a space where everybody can come and hang out. That sense of belonging, love, connection, creativity. That's what I need. Every decision I make, every choice I make between now and then is the mechanic, the action to get me there. And that's applicable. It's parallel in your life. That's why I think everybody on the planet should go to not go to acting school, but take an acting class,
Mm-hmm.
or bring someone like myself and Laurie onto the corporate landscape, so that we can teach you guys to be compassionate. Yeah.
Something about a couple things you just said. You were talking about feelings and how deeply you felt feelings. My personal opinion is that acting is also very sacred and holy, because especially in a society like ours, where having your feelings, at least for half the population, is not that encouraged, or wasn't for thousands, hundreds of years at least, um, thousands of years. Being a man means not having feelings, not crying. Actors, what in my experience, have this ability to experience every emotion and all the subtle nuances between the emotions. And by being able to bravely do that and do it in front of people, to have the feelings and show us that you can do that and not die, is part of the job of the actress. It's like a safe out, it's a cathartic for us. It can help us feel feelings that may be very buried, watching someone else experience those feelings. And just the understanding to this is part of what I've observed, understanding these subtle differences between these. There's maybe 4 or 5 main emotions, and there's so many variations on those and nuances, and I that's what actors bring. That's a skill that the average citizen doesn't necessarily have, and we benefit from seeing it. So I think it's important part of being human,
Mm-hmm.
having feelings.
Yeah. And it's it's, when people say, you're an actor. I mean, this has annoyed me for forever. You're an actor, you're an artist. You should just not talk about, politics. Who do you think is the reflection of our historical experiences? Are the people that are the first ones to go when something is what gets defunded first? What gets transformed first? The arts. Why? Because they they hold a mirror up to the human experience that feels dangerous to anything that wants to challenge that. And for
Yes,
you to
it
say,
also promotes personal power and imagination, critical thinking. The arts are what empower the people,
yeah,
even if it's just as a hobby or as healing therapy.
yeah.
I should say just, that's just as important.
Mhm.
Um,
And it's a necessary component to the human experience. And you know the the job, especially live theater, it's the job of an actor is on display in the moment. And the beauty of the writer and the producer and the stage coordinator and stage manager and all these amazing people that collaborate and come together to help this beautiful story. That's why theater is the actor's medium, because it's once you're live up there, that's you've
it's all
taken all the
you're in
rehearsal,
charge.
you've
You're
taken
large
all the
in
notes, and
charge.
there you are. You're out. You're that's it's all you, you know. Um, and you're the medium in which the character is being told. Those are still your feelings. Those are still
Story.
your lived experiences. And
Unless you're faking it, but that's not
you
the
can't,
actor you're talking about.
but you can't fake it. Like and be good.
That's
Like you can't fake it. You
kind of
can't.
my point.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And I think that, you know, that's why, when I first met Charlie, I've kind of ruined movies for him forever. But when meaning that, he could get by and watch um, a campy, silly, poorly written, poorly acted movie and be like fine with it. And I'm like, oh my God. The, anywhere from like there's exposition out the wazoo. Like you can do that entire scene without saying a word,
Hmm.
just um but now he enjoys it because he understands it a little deeper. So yeah. Um we're going to be doing this, everybody. So from every Monday at 5 p.m. Central Time, and 3 p.m. And we've got a lot of things coming up. Laurie and I are creating um, a workshop, an event that is happening and first weekend of October, or the first week of October. All of that stuff will be going out. And
Before that, we're going to do a Zoom mini retreat. That's
yes,
like
we're doing, yeah.
a mini.
Yes, and that's gonna be the Zoom mini retreat is gonna be free. I think we discussed that, or a promo or
In
whatever.
like August or September. I don't know.
Yeah. And then I'm building something here for the weekend, the last weekend of August. And then hopefully I'm bringing, wait, is it? Yeah. And then, and intentionally getting out to the West Coast as soon as possible. We're looking anywhere that's warm, anywhere. Um, so that's the next step in the chapter of Brionne. It is going to be my 50th birthday, which is insane. There's a GoFundMe, and I'm just going to throw this out there because this is, and I want to share this because it might be a little confusing, and if there's any questions anybody has on it, you can throw that out at me. Um, I'm gonna do this, and why did that? Do
It's
you?
for you. It's something for your birthday. What is the topic?
Yeah. So, um, okay, we're doing this. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna put it up in the chat because I don't know where this is gonna go. So I've been racking my brain. I always thought, and this is what I wanted to do last year, was I wanted to do um, a wellness retreat. I wanted all my friends to come together. Um, I wanted to be able to pay for a majority of it. You know, that was always the intention. And then life happened. Life stuff happened. And then last week I was like, you know what? F it. This is what I want to create. I'm writing my book. I've been writing my book, but having kind of an accountability and a commitment from other people that I'm saying this is going to happen by the end of December. Putting it all together. May get Laurie to be the editor. We'll see. But I'll need funds for that. I'm hosting a variety of workshops and events in places and building in places that can't quite that can't necessarily afford to pay me and pay for the experience. So that goes into this budget. So it's a compilation, a completion of my book, host a retreat workshop, community building, mid by my birthday or shortly after my birthday, increase public speaking and teaching platforms. And you guys would be amazed at how many times people want you to come and do something, but they can't fly you, or they can't put you up, or whatever. Then establish sources, funds for grants for the documentary that I've been wanting to put into to motion about my in-laws, my family. It's a beautiful story um, around my husband. I haven't been able to start it because I don't have the funds, grants, and time to do that. So that's that. Establish business plan steps for purchasing land and investment property that provides a space for camping, rentals, events, retreats, and our home all in one location. That is the goal. So that
A
is
lot to accomplish for that small goal.
well, no, it is the goal is actually 12,000. This is incremental. So
Okay.
it's 12,000. It's gonna run for at least a week after my birthday. So I'm building the call of action, the call to action
Okay.
now. So yeah, it's 12,000. It it does something weird. The GoFundMe does something weird where it says, you know, we'll build, small goals first. And I'm trying to figure out why, because the goal is 12,000. That's what I'm going for. I don't know. I think it said because people think it's easier to get to 3,000 than, or it's like more approachable. But I'm like, F that. I know people that that are in it to win it. So
Maybe it's a different platform. I don't know. I don't know that much about it. But one thing you could do is have the book by itself on a crowdfunding where it's just you're looking. They're basically just pre-ordering the book.
okay.
To get it done.
So yes. So that's one thing that I wanted to ask you about. I get so many things in my head all at once that yes, I want to do a pre-order book something where like it's going to be self-distributed or self-published, I think. Those are things that I want to talk to you about. Um, and yes, I want that to be a part of, you can pre-order the book. That can be ongoing. When I did this, I was just getting out of my head because I was just like,
No,
oh,
it's great. It's
you
great.
know,
When is your birthday, by the way?
July 31st. So it's in about 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Happy
So
birthday, early birthday.
thanks.
Yeah, for the book, it could be. I don't know that much about GoFundMe. I know more about Seed and Spark and Kickstarter stuff. There's or the GoGo one. I don't know. There's the ones where you can collect the funds even if you don't raise it the amount your goal, or you could set the goal, yeah, high or low. But if it's just you're basically just pre-ordering the book,
Okay.
and
Cool.
then you're it's just like you had sample chapter. Maybe you talk about the book in a little video, and you're not asking for all these different levels or overcomplicating it. It's just
Yeah.
simply about the book. You can still have it on there, but
Yeah.
that might
Okay.
work.
So I think what I'm going to do is after this, so this is the GoFundMe for the workshops and things like that. I'm still going to have the book because that's part of the daily I'm writing the book.
Yeah, I mean, you
And
can
so
start it through this whole campaign. You can just
Right.
start.
And then I want to get your input on how I can have a one-stop shop for pre-ordering the book. That will help a lot too.
Yeah.
But it's juicy. I did and then I got to go because we got to go take care of my baby.
Yes, we passed our 30 minutes. It's
Yeah.
okay.
There's chapter 6 and 7 is the 6-7. So it randomly was that. It was already in chapter 6 and chapter 7. And chapter 6 was sex with girls and chapter 7 was sex with boys. Well, men, I mean.
Begging.
But it was like
Not
the
boys, yeah.
it was, and then it was like 6-7, 6-7. But that was only because what you're getting is what I experienced when I was a kid and the social construct around my experience growing up in Northeast Texas. And then, and like, I'm nervous telling it out loud but that's the point. That is the point.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you, is this basically a memoir, or is it a memoir with some kind of tools for people reading it? Is it like both?
It's a memoir with exercises at the end of each, at the end. So it's, yeah, it's basically, this is how I overcame this. This is what I accomplished. This is what, this is what's been created based on what I was willing to overcome or what I overcame.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it's a deep dive into the human.
It's like a story of self-growth and what you can, literal takeaways.
Yeah.
Things you can do to,
100%. And it's like if you were to be able to get inside my head throughout the chapters of my life and what I did at the end of each one of those chapters to overcome, to get to living
very personal and confessional, it sounds like, with your 6 and 7 chapters.
Yeah. And then there's things where I'm like, oh, I need to change the name of that celebrity, or I need to change the name of that. I need to find out, it's dumb. It's delicate. But it's the human condition. It's things I observed as a personal assistant. It's the things I observed as a director on set. We got one person that joined. Hello, person that joined.
We're about to say goodbye.
We are about to say goodbye, but we will be doing this. Every Monday at 5 p.m. For the untold future. And Laurie, thank you so much.
At least for a few weeks. 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. Central.
Yeah.
3 p.m. California.
Yes.
Pacific.
Yeah. And you guys can get that calendar by joining one of our schools, SKOOOL, or subscribing here on Substack. You're always going to get that information. And Laurie and I want to see you there. And we get to make one more thing. Your through line strategy, your through line is the safest space for you to be. It's knowing who that is, knowing what you want, because all this other stuff that's happening all the way around you is going to try to interrupt that through line. If you are walking your through line and you are on your path and you know who you are and you know what you want, then all of that stuff is going to move in coordination with that, and being open to receiving all the amazing gifts of the universe, like friendships. Okay. We will see you guys next time. Stay tuned. This video will be up on all the socials. We'll talk to you soon. Much love. Bye.
Bye.
Laurie, thank you.